when if the Mars is squaring the solar eclipse, which just happened in Libra, when it's doing that, that means that war could be in the air. And it is, but we don't know it, see. We don't know it to the extent that it's getting really serious. Because, see, if you don't know it, then that means you're plainly being held captive very efficiently. You're being trickled in very little of what you need to know as far as your guards are concerned, and that's the Diddy um, concern, whatever that is. But I'm here to talk about the seriousness of what's happening in the Middle East. Which, how do I know it? Oh, I know how to listen to some things that come in, and I know what to take and what not to take. I mean, I know what's important and what's not. And see, because you can see it in the air already. And see, if they're talking about, and they have been, and it is, you can call it the Trump administration, but no, there is a presence on this plane who cannot seem to well, they want to gain more ground, right? They want to gain more. I don't know. They're just tooling about here, trying to take over something that has the ability to come in and out, per se. More freedom. It has its freedom more. See, um, it's almost like, see, you're on a prison planet that's being held together, like it's being fully charged up, and it's letting it. It's running. That's what you see of the world. Includes every bit of it. Say Hollywood, and those are the people who are trapped. Those are the non-human. I don't want to call it non-human because it has nothing to do with human. They are, you can say, stationed over there at the Vatican, whatever age-old presence that uses just the potential to become human here. And it's like parasitical. Parasite means, do I have to pull out my chalkboard now? No, not right now. See, I'm going to open up a playlist that is a whole different thing that I think it has to do with everything. But anyway, it has to do with the future, though. It's a futuristic thing. I have to be non-distracted about what I'm about to reveal that needs to happen. When, if this is happening, and it is, as far as by this time next year, we're going to know. Let's see. No, well, yeah, like by March, we're going to know something. See, we only have so much time here to do now what? See, a lot of people are thinking, oh, I got to do this and that. It's like, no, God is going to do something here through you. Will it work? See, it's important to do God's work here, to do things, and say like as if God had a better idea than you want to be on that person's team. You see, if it's a person, but it's not, and neither is Satan. See, but we want to. Well, there's parasitical, something happening here. It's hard to find out why that we don't know the nature of the mind enough over also the nature of reality. It's not over or under. It's just they're both there. Did you know that none of them can mix, and that see they have everybody under a spell of mind rather than the truth of reality. To tell you the truth, to say, are you having an experience that then starts to loop back in your mind? Whoa, this thing is going so wild. My phone is, talk about possessed. It's unfortunate. See what's going to be happening. I want to talk about what's happening. See that they're going to continue to try to um, cover up the major fighting that's going on, to stagger out attention. It's about attention. See, but the main reason for wars, which they are going to start it's global, that it will start. I mean, if you haven't noticed already, see, they want depopulation. That's why the main reason why for wars is to get rid of something that they have been incubating up, and I've been kind of talking about this already. One of my first videos that I put up, like, what, 6 or 7 years ago, that just for control, for easier control, they can't um, manage what they have put together, say the feeding and all that. So what they're not mentioning now is what's happening in the Middle East is a lot of famine rising up because there's outright war. See, what they're trying to do or something, for whatever reason, it's hard to tell, but there's technology and main resources held in Iran, just in the Middle East, you could say. That place, for whatever reason, is rich in not only resources. See, really, if you know how to know how to use resources, then really most likely you're the more intelligent kind. You're adapting. You have more technologically, and indeed, Iran particularly. If any place in the world has the most advanced technology, I would say it's Iran. Uh, this is why we don't even know what's in there. We just think that it's just desert and fighting, and it's like, no, the inner sanctum there is highly technological. And I didn't just say that it's creating a desert wasteland, although it seems that the more like humanity takes over, it gets less and less Mother Nature oriented, but it's kind of all converted into technological advances. And whether or not it's working there is a big question. We really don't know what's there, babes. All we can tell you right now is that, okay, so the the powers that be, the people that are showing you, see, Israel. It's important to understand that Israel is the originators of the mind-boning projector and reel system from hell. All of it originates from that area, right? Jerusalem, Israel, Bethlehem, near there somewhere. I don't know, must be Palestine. See, that's, if you kind of jog your mind a little bit, that's where baby Jesus and everything was born. We're supposed to be worshiping people that are from there, and but they know all about it. So we're going to have to rearrange our whole lives around that story, and it goes global. Of Christ Jesus coming to town, and it's highly misunderstood. By the way, that's I mean, set that aside. Hi, Jesus, trying to stick up for somebody like first of all, somebody like a woman over there. It's very women. They could be choosing to cover themselves up. I don't know. But no, yeah, it's hard to open the can of worms here on this planet when it comes to what's visible, and then what the possibility is of their visually, what we can look into that's so different than what's kept visible here, saying this is what collectively we're all kind of moving like puppets to a squawk box that is highly technological, that is the TV set basically. And then but what else though? Did it always be the TV set? No. We don't have hardly the capacity to think back that far anymore. And it's like, well, see, if you were paying attention to my last lesson, when I got into the word, and I'm not going to pull my little chalkboard out yet because I'm kind of being discouraged a little bit. It happens naturally. I think it's only because a lot of people, see, they're not really seeing what I can see. You can't see what a leader can see, and it's like, okay, so that's fine, but are you willing to be led by the right people? Only really, it's not people that should lead you, babes. This is where I think it's well. Are we going to depopulate the right thing? Because there's a lot of people here that can't trust. They can't be trusted, first of all, because their own faculties aren't being accessed right. They can't do a puzzle very well, right? They can't, even if it was a game that we played that used rules, that it's only fun unless you, it's only fun when you play by the rules, you see. And no, those people need to be just beheaded or something, chop their heads off because they're not. Man, I'm sorry, but when it comes to playing a game here, what is it? What, Shauna, are you okay? No. No, I'm being fucked with in my personal life by I just have to I'm being put in a position that's just it's terrible. It's terrible. I've never experienced anything like it in my life. It's sad. But I've been the one having to communicate, and I'm being pretty clear, and I think everybody needs to know maybe we're all this way. Maybe this is humanity. It's time to to understand that that there's a solution. We don't have to stay in disease and in constant drain of our energy. There's a different way to use the energy here, and we can live a fulfilling feeling or endure or endeavors. We can have a satisfying experience, and it's not a broken dream. We don't have to live a broken dream because what we're about to see, um, like what is intended, is to for this disruption. I think that there's enough on this plane that knows better, that has been doing well for itself. See, I need to go to the store and to the market, the food marketplace, and stock up on food. But really, it's not enough. You have to be psychologically prepared. We could be, see, with Mars aspecting the ecliptic cycle now as a square, which is a very sensitive thing. It's about, see, if we don't jump on top of and honor our intuitive ability and say, no, actually, the feelings of which are like this, and just make sure it's being communicated, because eventually, if this is a game and we have higher ups up there, you might have to discard your body, go back and sit in front of the masters up there and say, now the way that you played your game, and you get check marks. And it's all maybe in, in evaluation of whether or not you're going to move on to a better place of creation. Like, some people, when we're complaining here, disgruntled, like seeing some things, it's not because we just don't know how to get along or do something right. No, we see that a lot is put together to not, it's just a confusion. Now, you want to get back to Israel and what governs every aspect of our every aspect of our lives. If you want to talk about the modern day world, what sets up flags as nations? I'm going there. What is pitting um, themselves up with flags and colors that are far away from just being a human? Hue means color, man means man. Whenever we're gonna fucking, so it's like, see, the main thing that is missing is woman. This is, I think, the main thing is, like, if you, it's not very much more women as it is our own nervous systems, that are sensitive enough to say, hey, excuse me, but wait a minute, you're overriding my ability to feel for myself. And that could happen early. Everybody knows that. You love your favorite subject matter of narcissism. Well, there it is. That's what these people have been overridden of every bit of their faculties when they were young, and they were replaced with something else that said, no, you be this way and you get rewards this way. It could very much might be that way. May might be. It's so fucking thick. That's what Christ was here to remind us about. If you haven't known the story of what that person was doing at all, why it won't die, and people say, no, you should kill it. And just figure that was a sacrifice. It's done. You have no responsibility to do anything now. I don't doubt that that's really the person. I would never say, and don't do anything until I get back. That's so terrible. Because, first of all, why are you doing that to each other? You should take responsibility for your own. Like, okay, so the saying goes, and we've heard it all before, and it's terrible. Why do we have to go through this? But it's like, well, you can't control those people that hurt you in the beginning because you were completely helpless. But now you can control the choices that you're making now and how you react to it all. And, like, do you want to be that person or do you not want to be that person? And it's like this. Do they ever tell you the real cure, though? Yeah, Joe Dispenza points out it every once in a while. He says, well, yes, you just do behaviors. Do behaviors in the now. Do it enough in the now. Beyond your mind. Beyond the mind. See, when you say now, it's beyond mind. Those are two different things we were talking about originally. Two different things. See, I'm just trying to I'm doing my own practice because I'm being sat upon by, it's like, it's weird, it's different, it's weird life to look at this. What I mean is the different conversation that it's possible that, okay, this, fuck, I was trying to get this, I had a better conversation before the sun was rising. I wanted to record this, but I took a shower, and it's like, okay, the people in Israel, the ones who feed us that religion that broadcasts, how was it able to become a separate God away from just the truth? The truth, like, there's just men and women here, and why can't they get their shit together? If it's true that they have a centralized, like, intelligence that pings to them, they're animated, and today we'll do this for because we haven't heard what. Because now, but no, the science fiction film that you're in, I mean, that I'm about to fucking turn this into a science fiction. Welcome, Shauna tells science fiction. Is that there's just the possibility that a human being can be here. There's just a possibility. Basically, there's an organism that needs to be woken up. Now, maybe it's born awakened in some areas. They say that, oh no, awakening, that's natural state. And it's like, yeah, but so that you're being whipped into away from the natural state, away from a natural, right relationship with everything. Sorry, this is exhausting here. And how many people are going to be here and not have done anything, let alone for themselves, but for the whole organism to get on its feet better? There's some people like me who, in the middle of attack, what are the attacks, Shauna? What are they coming from? You have a system of controllers programming people to live a certain way. And it first of all, it's like it's creating misery because there's a glimmer of life that could be in that person that says, you know what, I think it could be different. I'm supposed to evolve here into something different. And that's exactly what Christ was here to tell us. Any Christ. And say, no, you're supposed to become love. That's the only thing that's going to make everything else worthwhile, even your money. We see how money isn't doing anything for anybody. And how that the system and the run from cradle to the grave is creating such a um, physical condition where, like, you know it, nobody gets really any good exercise. I'm about to go right now, go shopping, and just have to deal with how like, why is everybody so overweight? What the fuck is creating that? It's not the food. They're not in their bodies, for one. They don't allow themselves to have a feeling that isn't generated from just holy fear it just creates this numbness in their body. There's so much to talk about, but I wanted to talk about the warning sign from Mars. We're in Cancer, and it's just gonna be really quiet, but it's a very sensitive, butt hurt fucking place for Mars to be. It's almost done messing with me, but no, when it gets away from that place, it's not gonna be done messing with the people that are Mars ruled. Not that it gets any better when it moves into Leo, because when it moves into Leo, what it does is it opposes. First, it's weird because it could be in a opposition. Now, I'm going to look at this. It's weird. It's going to oppose Pluto for the last time in Aquarius. And it's right there on top of the United States. If you live in the Americas, if you're not experiencing fucking travesty already where they're not announcing that there isn't going to be anybody coming for you, not in the form of what you think is there, like a helicopter or something. They don't give a fuck about you. All of that resources and all of that equipment is to protect a certain kind, and it's not you. You have to protect yourself on a very microclimatic, climactic scale. And a lot of people aren't capable of that, right? Not even me, really. You need love. You need to regroup and take care of each other. Do you understand what I'm saying? This is a message prior to what I think what's going to happen by the end of this transit to Mars and that's in Cancer, that it was just a square in eclipse in Libra, which has everything to do with pointing at how's the quality of your relationships doing? Are you dealing with a fucking robot over there? Really? Are you dealing with somebody who has been programmed away from love enough that you're never going to learn your lesson? You're just spiraling fucking into, like, it's just a forever hell. You're miserable because you're under spiritual possession. You'll never see it worse, too, than the ones who claim that they know God through Christianity and the story, not even the story of Jesus Christ, really. What I'm talking about is there is a programming system out there that fucking whips you up. They have taken your mind. You are spiritually possessed. It's a problem. There are very few that you can run into that are healthy from any of this stuff. And particularly the ones like me who seems to be always going, well, I'm not getting along with anybody yet because I'm totally majorly dysfunctioned. No. No. I am functioning enough. It's amazing. It's remarkable. To where I'm looking at the cure right in front of our face. There's something here that's trying to help us in the meantime with everything. Includes our technology right here. It's there that it says, look, give them a chance, and they say, okay, let's see, but we're completely, let's say, where, who, there's the part of the organism that's it's just running on automatic. It's completely hijacked, and it's not going to be enough for them. Not even when it's a flooding rainstorm. See, they have emptied out basins of water in the past by way of their fracking or whatever, and this has been happening since before the 1900s. We're in the year 2000. I'm talking about by the turn of the 19th century, where you people can't even remember if there was a body of water there or not. And with the control of making it rain, they can fill up those basins, especially if they cut off the way. They've been doing this everywhere, a lot of places. And if you haven't noticed, and they're not reporting it, but you can see it through social media more and more. It's just like, look at what these people are surviving as far as the flooding that they are causing through their technology. One of the best ways is to figure out how to harness Mother Nature in the way that it can cause problems like flooding and earthquakes and stuff. And you bet make the fucking whole. See, this is a dangerous place because benevolence itself could be the one that after a while it says, no, fuck you, this is all mine, and I will reset it and give it yet another chance. Because as long as there is the solution of salt water here, that's the healer. They just wash it over with the ocean. And see, we don't know what's at the fucking bottom of the ocean. We don't know what's at the bottom of a lot of the deeper lakes, but then what we see, what is shown, and they don't tell us, but we can find it. It's there. It's amazing. Oh, it's another civilization that just exposes itself there. And they have architecture and stuff that we don't know what that was. It looks like a ritual site or something. Who knows? And we don't really know how old that was. If you contemplate it, I'm looking at, okay, it's hardly 600 to 800 years that there was a whole other Earth. And all we're talking about is the way that people are being here with it. And what's happening now, it's so flimsy, it's so fucking vulnerable, it's so going to be rehauled, refaced, and the way they'll do it is through the way they've always done it. But see, it's the originators of all of this. Your United States and whatever holds a flag up, especially the red, white, and blue. You have to look at that theme. Everybody's wearing a necktie, by the way. That's not enough. All claiming to know God. That's not enough. That's Israel over there. And they're losing. They're trying to get into Iran to get the most advanced technology, which is to interdimensionally travel, to actual space travel, to actual teleportation, to actual being something that they don't even qualify to be. Whatever's trying to strong arm it and say, no, we can do this. They want to take over in a way that it's like, no, and something will. Not only see if Israel is refusing, see, is trying to do this without just surrendering and saying, no, you can't do that. You have managed to take over most of the global population, boning their brains out with a fake god, Hollywood, flag raising, and all of it. All of it. It's a huge madhouse that they've created because they have resources there too. And Iran is not stupid. The place that has harbored true intelligence, there's several places on the planet where, yes, war surrounds them everywhere. I think Ghana is another place. There's a place in Africa where it's just, you cannot touch the center of what they're trying to get at. You will never be able to touch it because it's too intelligent. And there is a lot of destruction that will happen around the world before that fucking place even informs us that no, you are being, through whatever sacrifice, that can we understand now that we're being held captive, and particularly men and women being fucking jacked across the board. Just the possibility that they can be here. We are looking at just beyond idiots. You would wish that there was a bunch of fucking idiots. These are spiritually possessed people. How? Why? Now you want to talk about karmic retribution. See, there's people in the middle of stronghold, like fighting, micro or macrocosm, whatever, but it's like, yeah, it's over there in the courtroom where nobody's making sense. You people have lost love in your life, and no solutions are going to be made. It's a black hole experience because you need help. You need, what do you need? What do you think you need? See, and a lot of people, it's coming up right now. I hope you appreciate this video. I don't know if I got my point across. There's a lot. See, I'm being, it's really unfortunate. I'm being put and trapped into a hell of a position. I'm doing the best I can with just saying, hey, look, this needs to stop because whether you realize it or not, it's not good for me. And I'm sorry if you can't care for me enough. See, this is the hardest thing I'm having to go through because um, it just is. It is what it is, and I wish that we can take a snapshot and say, Shauna, what's going on? Well, what I know is going on is nobody's going to fall off the face of the earth. If we just back up and try to become a higher octave of love, I think something else is going to happen. Just to just say, you know what, you people, not only do you not know how to live and have you because you've been um, taken over by this deception system that originates over there in Israel, but you're going to be given a chance to snap out of it in this lifetime. You're going to see the most amazing fucking thing happen because what, and it's going to look like hell. And it's going to like hell's warming over. And it's like, no, this is the best thing that's happening. Because why? Because that old deception is dying. Do you think it's going to work? No, see, by the time that unrest hits this place here, which this place, I'm talking about, I needed to get the hell out of here. There's a lot of people that think that there's a better place to go. And it's like, maybe not. If you can stay still and get into your meditative life and start listening, that's the best. So I'm not going to be going anywhere. I'm just going to stay here, and I'm going to see messages more coming. I know that we fall apart eventually. I know that we have to go to you get either taken in by what? Assisted care? No, you go to a monastery. You fucking find love in your life. You create ashram, and ashram is an energetic scenario. I've seen people do it around me. In fact, every single one that I have the privilege of being around who was going at their end of life process and nearly dying, not near dying. There's nobody almost dying here. It's fucking you die or not. They were around love for most of their life. They didn't depend on the system. Not really. That system is what kind of finally got to them through like another person. Hard to explain because, yeah, it's just like that. They're spiritually possessed by this other, and they're like, oh, and they're fucking. I don't know how to explain it more without sounding this crazy, but there's a better way to explain it. And it's happening now. It's like, oh, they're spiritually possessed, and they can care less about people who are free of that, and are racking their brains saying, no, there's a different way to treat all of this, even a glass of water, even the time you spend together, supposedly. Don't even really have the time, do you? You're there, but you're not there. This all needs to change, and if it's fucking 3/4 of the population, man, what a sacrifice, huh? But I see a fucking machine. I'm gonna go out right now and say all I'm doing is just I'm sorry, but I'm under see it's particular. I'm looking at it. The language is there. The division of social services. They call themselves the division. The division. There's two different types to be found here. Now, one of them knows and better than to segregate, be prejudiced, and play the game that the government has. It's mainly that they are making us ignore, number one, that there's men and women here. I didn't just say that no, they're not supposed to be having, a woman cannot have sex with her new bicycle, and a man cannot have sex with his new robot that he makes. But really, there's just men and women here. And I didn't just say they're just naked pygmies with swinging dicks and fucking tits that they need to put into use, that keep having babies. No. We are a technology made by a creator who says this, you are in our same image here, and I bet you anything we're capable of so much more. Way more than being held in this constant state of, we have to heal. Let's heal. Do you have to heal? How are you doing with your healing? Oh, it was so hard. It was just trauma, 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 bond. Trauma, 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 bond. And I'm in need. I'm in need. I have a want, but I'm in need.